Live from the Golden State. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be on the internet and around the world. I'm your host, Bobby Dix, and welcome again, gang, to another edition of the Bobby Dix, Gerbal, and Friend Show, where we discuss real news for real people, because idiot comes in every single color. And with that, we're going to quickly get to our news. We're going to first pop open to the news today, and then we'll see who is popping in with us. So, without any further ado, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it goes. Popping in the news today. Oh, there we go.
He's already on.
Who's popping in today? To my left is a creature so bold, so colorful, so unique. He has often been called a crypto creature because he is fairly seen but always heard. The one, the only, Gerbal. Gerbal, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Bobby. Barely made it out of the Hall of Fame Classic, dude. Those
I see.
fuckers can party.
I heard.
Yikes.
Yes, I've heard.
Yikes.
And to his right, to my other left, two lefts make a right,
Yeah.
so I've been told, is a man who is a former Morse code operator, also the assistant head chief for the down periscope department, the one, the only, Tails. Tails, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good.
Good to see you again. Glad we're all here. Well, getting to the news today, and this is hot off the international presses. This is breaking less than an hour ago, and it's from the National Weather Service. Tails, you kind of alluded to it earlier. The National Weather Service is warning people in South Florida of the possibility of falling iguanas in advance of cold weather. It's not something that they usually forecast, but don't be surprised if you see iguanas falling from trees tonight, as it may drop into the 30s and 40s according to the Miami National Weather Service. The Weather Service also knows that iguanas are cold-blooded animals and slow down or become immobile when it drops below 40 degrees. They rest and take shelter in trees, which is why they fall. There is no word of there's going to be any 2-ton iguanas falling into the ocean just off Miami. So we're not sure if those are going to be falling into the ocean for pickup naturally. But for now, be warned of falling iguanas.
Heads up, guys. Hey, put your hats on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Break out that nice sun umbrella.
Might be a good time to grab yourself a hat lizard.
Yes, I was going to say, your buddy's still on your head.
He is. Yeah, he's
hanging in today, getting cold.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's kind of holding it tight. It's a little chilly.
I see.
But, hanging in there.
All right. Moving on to our next story. We've all heard of El Chapo. Well, how about this? El Chapo gets a beer. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman may be serving a life sentence in jail, but the former Mexican drug kingpin can now boast of having his own beer. How about this? El Chapo Mexican Lager was launched by his daughter Alejandra, who runs a fashion and lifestyle company built around her father's brand. The company, Chapo 701, unveiled the craft beer at a fashion show in Guadalajara. Guzman's daughter started the company just about a year ago. The 701 is a reference to the spot El Chapo held on Forbes magazine's annual ranking of the world's richest people in 2009, don't you know? Nice. Then, it was estimated that his fortune was worth $1 billion.
That's funny. Forbes recognizes drug kingpins.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to be legitimate to get on Forbes.
No. They just care about,
brass tacks.
Yeah. It's kind of like there was an old Saturday Night Live skit where the whole point was someone played Joe Piscopo, and the whole point was, how much you bench? Remember?
I do.
It was didn't matter what your form was. Didn't matter if you could put 1,000 reps up. It was just how much you bench, right? How much you worth is what I think Forbes.
Kevin Nealon?
I think it was. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to check that out later.
Yes, I'm glad I brought that back. So, also, El Chapo was the powerful Sinaloa cartel leader. He was sentenced to life in prison in the U.S. in July of last year because he trafficked 1,200 tons of cocaine into the United States over the course of 25 years, and not 1 gram more, apparently.
I bet you it was 50 times that amount.
Is that how much he got caught with? Because that just seems to me like that's how much he got rolled over on for.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Well, that's what the DEA didn't get paid for.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. Well, and that's exactly what Manuel Noriega's cut would have been had he not been in jail.
For dead.
Yeah, for a number of years here. Well, moving on to our other story, which is something of a Guinness World Record meets confection delight.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. How about this? Breaking. The world's longest cake has been baked in India, Gerbal.
India.
Gerbal, where are you going?
I didn't know they were in.
Yes. If you want something to really look at, head to India, where bakers broke the Guinness World Record with a cake measuring, okay guys, how long was this cake that broke the Guinness Book of World Records? Tails.
Was it a quarter of a mile?
Okay, you're going to say quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
Okay. Gerbal, same question to you.
I don't know. This is a confusing one. I kind of want to say that it's something that shouldn't even be a record. But cake, are we talking about like a wedding cake type or birthday cake, or just like a rolled cake item would do?
Yeah, I mean...
I'm imagining I forget what they call them, but, like the rolled cake. And
yeah, exactly. Like fruit by the foot, but a cake, and you just roll that son of a bitch out.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Gotcha.
You could go ways with that.
Okay.
Well, we're going Price is Right rules.
Right. Spool cake. I think it's called spool cake.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to go 100 yards.
Okay.
300 feet. I'm going to go under. I mean, which, of course, I'm admitting defeat if it's anywhere over.
Well, you guys are all very close. The colossal cake was more than 3 miles long.
Whoa.
Fuck.
Damn. All right. These motherfuckers doing some work.
3 miles? What the fuck?
It was made on long tables on the streets of Thrissur.
That's a lot of tables.
I'm telling you.
Shit.
It beat the previous record of a measly 1.98 mile, 4.26 inch cake made in China in 2018. I mean,
4.26 inch. I mean, that's not a cake. Come on. Even a cake roll has got to be way bigger than that. I mean, it's a fucking cake.
right.
You know what I mean? It's not like a breadstick or something.
Did you see the Snickers candy bar they made?
Yes, we talked about that
Oh, man.
earlier. We sure did.
That shit was fucking huge, bro.
I bet it was.
They kind of robbed the system on that.
Question, do you think any people who might be hungry are going to be fed with this cake? Or do you think you're just going to throw it right in the trash? Like, oh, that was a good prize, we're done.
They're just gonna leave it there and let the fucking whoever take a bite. Fuck it.
It's India, bro. I mean, they get down just like Mexico does. You make something like that, it's time to eat.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
gonna
let's
be
share the
gone.
wealth.
Giving it to the cows,
nights.
too.
Here in the States, apparently, that shit just gets thrown away or recycled.
Oh, yeah. It ends up in the trash, in the dumpster behind, Safeway or wherever you're getting your groceries at.
Does it tell the crowd size? Because I know we've talked about a few record-breaking moments in Mexico.
Well,
and that normally draws a good 10, 15,000 people.
I think you're right, because you bring up a good point. Given the population of India, which is one of the most densely populated countries on the planet.
Over there.
I'm thinking you're right. They actually had to make it 3 miles long so they could feed 37 people, 50,000 people, something like that. You know what I mean? I'm thinking maybe 50,000 people had to eat it, and that was just on 3 city blocks.
Right, which
right?
would be 0.02% of their population.
Right. Yeah.
There are a couple people in India.
There's quite a few, and even a 3 mile cake would even put a dent in it. So, but that's good. I'm glad that they're at least trying.
That's impressive.
No,
finally, somebody out there trying.
We're gonna switch gears and go over to China now, and this is an interesting story. A man surnamed Gao says he was required to humiliate himself by his company in East China when he refused to wear a certain article of clothing. Okay? Do we know what the article of clothing is? Would we like to speculate on what his article of clothing may be? This guy was fired because he refused to wear it properly.
The maid outfit.
Ooh. Tails might be onto something.
Okay.
You might be onto something.
What do you think? What do you think, Gerbal?
I don't know. Tails is definitely onto something here. I don't know. I want to say that he's required to wear casual Friday type stuff.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, just
All
wear
right.
a t-shirt, bro. But no. Fuck no. I'm going to work. Gotta throw on 3-piece.
Exactly. So, Gao says his manager required all male workers, like a scene out of a college fraternity house, who did not pass the job performance standards to dance around the office wearing women's black pantyhose.
What? No cocaine and hookers?
One cool thing about communism, right?
Gao said, "We were told to take off our trousers and wear women's black stockings over our underwear."
Fuck all that.
He got to keep his boxers on, so it wasn't all bad.
Right. Well, there was some video posted, naturally, and it says that 2 of Gao's workmates, it shows them complying with the order and flirting around the office in pantyhose. It appears to be an amusing charade. I'm not sure if their dignity thought it was that amazing, but anyways.
Shit, they took something and ran with it. Having fun.
So Zhao refused to accept the punishment. First off, he failed to pass the minimum standard performance at his job, first off. Then he refuses to accept the punishment for that.
And he wasn't fired?
Which he said degrades his dignity, and when he received a message
That's the point.
saying that he'd been fired, I told the manager I would wear woolen long johns, but he insisted I need to wear pantyhose or go.
I like it.
I like it. I do too. So I guess beggars could be choosers, right? Because this guy apparently can't perform at the job. He can't perform and accept his punishment, and then he's crying foul. Like he's been outed. It's like, oh, I got all this money from this company that should have fired me, but they gave me a bunch of second and third chances.
All I had to do is wear pantyhose.
All I had to do was just wear some, and now I can,
Even as he watched his coworkers have a good time with it.
They said it was amusing, but no, his dignity. I believe Marcellus Wallace said,
his dignity has nothing to do with providing for his family. It's all about
exactly.
He cannot be disgraced.
Exactly. No. Marcellus Wallace said it best in Pulp Fiction. He said, "You're going to find that it's going to be pride that's going to be getting in the way." Remember, he told Bruce Willis to take the dive.
It's going to be fucking with you.
Yeah, he said, "Fuck pride."
Yes, he did.
And I think Zhao needs to learn that simple little lesson.
Well, sometimes every man, woman, you're going to have to eat a can of shit, right?
That's how it goes. Especially if you're Zhao and you refuse to make them.
Dignity lies in eating that can of shit and trooping on.
If he thinks his dignity is bad now, just wait till what his wife's going to do when she finds he's unemployed.
Yeah. Well, no, his dignity.
Oh yeah, naturally. Yeah,
She would never steal that from
No,
him.
she would never rip that from the second she finds that he has no more job.
Nah,
She would never give him a bunch of shit for that.
Nah, he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, no, exactly.